Good morning. Oh, people here already. Good 1 a.m. What do you like? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Tina. Good morning, Angel. Definitely a good morning if it's only 1 a.m. That's mad. Welcome. Oh, I haven't even put my background on this morning.
Oh, come on,
I
Patterson,
know.
sort it
It's
out.
been chaos. Well, it hasn't. I've just been distracted. You know how it goes. Shiny things.
Yeah, don't blame chaos.
Yeah, don't blame
fault.
chaos. Chaos, no, it's not chaos's problem. Yeah, that's what our house is like this week.
But it's done last day.
It's done. Yes, the bedroom's going to be finished today. So I get a wardrobe back. Don't have to continue to rotate the 4 outfits. Good afternoon, Lucky Fairy Green. Welcome. It is Friday. Hurrah! It's April. I don't even begin to understand how it's already April. In my little part of Hampshire, spring is definitely springing. It's supposed to be the warmest day this year so far. Today. Good morning, Emma. Good morning, Christine. Yep, I can see Pete's working hard opposite me.
Make sure it's all right.
Opposite me, yeah. And Eric's out in the kitchen.
Sunshine.
Yeah, sunbathing. Testing. Oh, no, you're on Facebook. Oh, it's working this week. I did reset stuff.
Yeah, so I just wanted to test it before I put the app.
So it's all working, so I can see all your comments this week. Hurrah! Guten Morgen, Xenia. Guten Morgen. Don't laugh at my German accent. Rude. You have sunshine too, that's good. Good morning, Susan, from a warm West Sussex. Not too far from me. Yes, it's going to be a nice day. Let's hope it's a good one as well. Good morning, Angela, from a chilly but sort of trying to be sunny France. They are France. Bonjour. See? Salut. Oh, look at me.
You are fluent.
Fluent.
I was in Germany and France.
Fluent in gibberish. That's me.
Yeah.
Good morning, Julie. Good morning, Megan. It's been chaos. So today is just an Ask the Witch. Shouldn't say just, should I? Today is an Ask the Witch. So any questions on witchcraft, any questions for me in particular, any questions on spirituality or anything you want, anything you can think of. Baking, I don't know. Don't ask me about quantum physics or mathematics because you're not going to get an answer. Yeah, it's not going to get an answer. But thank you, Xenia. See, Xenia says my pronunciation's fine. So, events, quick roundup. Dragon Magic online workshop tomorrow afternoon, hosted by the College of Psychic Studies. Looking forward to that. Always like a bit of dragon magic. Got any questions about dragons? We can answer them today. Myself, Ness and Heather will be at the Wandering Witches Fair in Hampshire, Saturday the 12th of April, 10 till 3. Looking forward to that. If you want to see where we are and what we're up to, check out both websites, mine and the Kitchen Witch one, on the events pages, and you will find out where we're up to, what we're doing, what mischief.
That's good English.
Yeah, I know. I've exhausted my English doing my accents.
Yeah. You can't speak English now.
I can't speak English now.
German,
yeah. Good morning, Kerry.
Oh,
wet cleanly. Yeah. Just work, will you? Good morning, Claire. Xenia, are we having a stall at Pagan Tribal? No, we haven't got a stall this year, but we will be there. I'm doing a book signing on the Phoenix Flames stall, but we will be at Pagan Tribal, wandering about and generally getting on everyone's nerves. Christine's ex-mother-in-law was a dragon. Right, let's deal with. Angel has some questions here about spells. Can I get real spells? Well, all spells are real if they are worked properly, but you have to believe in them. You have to understand how they work, and you have to respect the magic and the energy of them. If Angel says, I met a witch who put numerous curses on me. Okay, curses, very, very rare. it is very rare that anyone will be powerful enough to curse or hex you and have it make a big impact on your life. The way that curses work is by someone saying to you, I've put a curse on you. Your own mind then works with it. Your own mind feeds that energy, and actually everything then that happens to you, you put down to the curse. So you actually end up cursing yourself. So forget any idea that you have been cursed and move on with your life. Be positive about it. You need the positive energy. Good morning, Ness. Angela, don't worry about accent or mispronunciation. Just goes to show you have learned from a book reading. I did French at school. We have visited France a few times. I am proficient enough to order food or shop. Shopping or eating. I'm not bad at that, but that's about it. Right. Julie, do you use wards? Wards as in, do you mean protection? If you don't, let me know. But yes, I do. My house is protected. The boundaries are protected. I use personal shields when I need them as well. So I do, yes, I do ward the house as in protection. I don't conjure spirits. I don't really use thought forms or anything like that as wards, but I do bring in protection. My dragon brings in protection, but I do a lot of visualization for protection for my boundaries. If necessary, I would use hot foot powder as well. Certain plants planted around for boundaries. If that's what you mean, then yes, I do. Good morning, Steve. Good morning. Interesting question. Out of the 4 elements, which is your favorite to work with and why? Fire. Technically, I am a water sign. My zodiac is Scorpio. But it's fire. Water for me, good when I need to release, when I need to kind of calm. I go to the ocean. Love it. I work with seagull as well. Very watery. But fire is my element that I like to work most of my magic with. My dragon guardian is a fire dragon. I am bossy, control freak, feisty. Don't even look at me, husband.
So bossy.
I have that fire energy. I am a doer. I am an enabler. And it's all powered by fire dragon energy. So yes, fire, because it motivates me, because it boosts me, it pushes me forward, it gets things done. And any magic that I work, I like to burn it. So whether it is petitions or candles, candle magic is probably my favorite go-to magic because of the fire involved with it. Candle magic itself is about transformation. So the fact that you are using flame, you are using fire, you are transforming energy, and that is the baseline of all magic, is that you are transforming and manipulating energy. So for me, fire, candle magic works very well. Yeah, anything I can burn, basically. I think it is that transformation energy that works for me. Water, as I say, releasing, and the ocean I love. So that's probably my secondary one. Earth, because I love gardening, plants. I work with herbal magic a lot. So that's probably third. Air's the one that I always say I don't really work with very much, but actually I write. So that's very much air, and I always kind of forget that one. So yeah, fire would be my go-to, definitely. Julie, what about servitors? Not generally, no. There is something for me about trapping, enslaving spirit that I'm not comfortable doing. I have worked with thought forms. I have worked with servitors in my Wiccan training. It didn't resonate with me particularly. I have found that I don't need them. I can work with protecting my boundaries. I can work with protecting myself without having to ensnare other things. But that's, That's just my own practice, not any judgment on anyone else. Ness, gotta love a flame. Yeah, we do like burning stuff. Definition of a hex. Interesting. Hexes and curses, kind of pretty much the same thing. There are different thoughts on this. Some say that a hex is just a spoken curse. It does just different words for the same thing. But basically a curse and a hex is about willing ill wishes to someone. It is about wanting to hurt and harm another person in whatever way. Could be physical, could be mental, could be spiritually, I guess. But it is basically you want to harm someone. And again, I'm not judging. I write about curses and hexes, particularly in the Hoodoo book. I've covered them. I write about them in the spell book as well. We teach about curses and hexes at the Kitchen Witch School because I think knowledge is power. And a big part of that knowledge is that it's very, very rare that a curse or a hex actually works without that person knowing that it's been put on them, because 99.9% of the energy of a curse or a hex is you feeding it yourself because you think you have been cursed. Your brain then feeds it. Our brains are incredibly powerful. It's why with a lot of curses and hexes and that type of magic, particularly with things like poppets and war bottles, you have to see it. That it will be left on your doorstep so that you know that you've been cursed. Because then your brain feeds it and keeps feeding it. And every time something happens, from a hangnail to the roof falling in, you will blame it on that curse. But the reality is that stuff happens. It does. Stuff happens. You know, this week, washing machine's leaked. Fridge freezer has broken. Stuff happens. It's not because I've been cursed. It's because stuff happens, and it's because the fridge freezer's 15 years old. So, you know, it's about you make, I think to a certain degree, you make your own destiny, you make your own energy. So if you are continually feeding it, thinking you've been cursed, then you are going to create your own little negative bubble. You are going to have that little Eeyore rain cloud following you around. That's how curses and hexes work, because you feed it yourself. I think I went a bit off track there, but yes. Curse, hex, basically energy put out there to harm someone. Good morning, David. God, that's heavy stuff for first thing, isn't it? Stressful week, need decaf coffee. If I have caffeine today, I will explode. I think if you have caffeine at all, we'd be peeling you off the ceiling, I think. Good morning, Karen. Angela. Fire is my favourite too. I'm a fire sign, but I have a huge affinity with water too. They kind of they go together a bit, don't they? Fire and water, I think. Air is probably my least favourite, but I've been forced to work with it loosely lately. It does seem, I think air seems to be the kind of poor relation sometimes, doesn't it? But it is equally as powerful and useful as the others. It just gets a little bit forgotten, I think, sometimes. Can we have a workshop on using wands? Interesting. I will make a note, Julie. Working with all the tools actually would be useful, wouldn't it? Good morning, Jane. Fire magic for me, yeah. Especially fires in the back garden. I'm not allowed fires in the back garden anymore.
Poor Camellia.
We have a chimney. And it was Beltane, and I put a fire in the chimney.
Uh-huh.
And it turned the camellia bush completely black.
Charcoaled it.
So I'm not allowed fires in the garden anymore. Sometimes my spirit guide Merlin drops in and sits with me. The ash goes in the compost, so it's all good. If I'm having a fire on a Sabbath, like Beltane particularly, I actually save the ashes from the fire and I use them in spell work. But the garden does appreciate a bit of ash too. Funnily enough, things like camellia plants too. Good morning, Jalala. Where I come from, a servitor is a centaur with a deer body. Okay. slightly different spelling. Yeah, servitors. Yeah, it's to me it's like when people put spirits in pieces of jewelry. You're trapping them basically, and it kind of, that all works along the same line for me. It doesn't feel like the right thing to do. Although when I was doing my Wiccan training and I had to work with thought forms and send them out to do tasks, I did find them incredibly unreliable. They do get bored very easily. So, as servants of the darkness, or whatever you want to call them, they're a bit rubbish. They're quite unreliable. Lucky Fairy Queen. This is heavy stuff from Friday morning. I haven't even had any coffee yet. How do you work with a deity on the daily? I wonder what is the proper way to work with them. Usually light a candle as an offering. Very good start. Thank them. Very good. And do a meditation and write what I'm grateful for. I think you've nailed it there. Absolutely. I think the lighting of the candle is a really good idea. It is, you're using fire energy again. So you're using passion and creativity and transformation energy. Lighting that candle is taking time to honor the deity. So it works brilliantly. Offerings. I tend to do offerings as well. I have this side. There's kind of my Kalech Sulis altar at the minute because things are a bit upside down upstairs. So they are shoved together. The Kalech's not overly impressed with it, but she's being vaguely tolerant about it at the moment. But so we've got some bay in a vase for the Kalech. But I've got here, you can see, this is my offering bowl, my Kalech offering bowl. There are bits and pieces in here. So I've got a pebble. I've got a hagstone that she likes. We've got some bits of pomegranate, dried pomegranate. I've got some mustard seeds, some fennel seeds, and because it's the Kalech and she's an old lady, I've got a boiled sweet. She likes boiled sweets. So offerings are good. I not daily. I don't do offerings daily, but when I feel the need to, I do like to have fresh herbs, greenery, or flowers on the altar. It's about time and attention more than anything, I think, and trusting your intuition about the best thing to do. Keeping it clean as well, keeping it clear, keeping it dust free. You're making that effort. It is about honouring. I've got Sulis bits on there, but she's not quite ready yet. The Kalech's still hanging on. But I will swap it around a bit in the next couple of weeks when the Kalech's gone into the background. But yeah, I think it is about attention. It is about paying them attention. It is offerings, flowers, just rocking up, really, to connect with them, to spend time with them. What you're doing already sounds brilliant. They will tell you if they want something else from you. They'll let you know. Or ask them. When I work with Sulis, when I meditate with Sulis, she always expects me to turn up with an offering in my meditations, not a physical offering. And she will tell me what she wants. She's quite feisty and, this is what I want. Generally platters of fruit, figs, grapes, all the rich things. She really took it to heart when the Romans built her a temple. One time she wanted leeks. I have no idea why, but that's what she wanted. So listen, trust your intuition on that. But what you're doing already sounds brilliant. Good morning, Karen. Xenia, fire and burning stuff is also my favourite, plus a secondary air. Because of the fire ceremonies, I breathe intention and energy on the small stick or paper. I burn them. I love the fact that breath is very magical. Not something I remember to do, but Heather does very often. When she's doing readings, she will breathe on her bone set or on her Ogham set to cleanse it and clear it. And it's a very useful thing to use because, it's free. You've got it on you. So breath is quite magical. Definitely worth investigating more. Talking of investigating, good morning, Steve. Need to investigate air more. With my love of sound, I feel it should be more of its magical potential. Sad I missed that Witches Weekly episode. It's on YouTube. Yeah, I think it is that element that perhaps gets a little bit forgotten, but we do use it so much. And you're right, sound and music, that's all air, isn't it? And that's very powerful. Yeah, never underestimate any of the elements. They've all got power. Tina, how do you break a hex? Again, I'm going to quote Terry Pratchett. We're into the headology side of things here. If you think you have been hexed, there are very simple ways to break it. And actually, if you look on my blog, there's some information about breaking curses and hexes. It is about your mindset. It is about clearing your head and breaking that connection in your head that you think you have been hexed. You can do some candle magic work. You can light a black candle, state your purpose, snuff the flame out, snap the candle. Very, very simple way of breaking a curse or a hex. You could do a cord cutting, and there's information on cord cuttings on my blog and on the Kitchen Witch blog as well. It is about breaking that connection in your head. It is about letting go of that idea that you have been cursed or hexed. It's all up here. It is here that you have to make that disconnection. But you can do that by representing it with cord cutting, literally just cutting a piece of string between you and that curse, or snapping a candle works as well. It is about getting rid of that idea and walking away from it. But if you do, remember to bring some positive into it as well, so that you have got something positive to focus on as well, so that your brains just, they wander and sometimes they get hung up on things. And that's what happens with the curse or the hex. It gets hung up, it gets caught into that cycle. So you have to break that cycle. But there's some information on both the blogs on that. Good morning, Sarah. Thank you, Xenia. Good morning, Maria. Lucky Fairy Queen. Love fire magic. Candle magic's my absolute favourite. Yeah, it is mine. It is my go-to for any kind of magical working. Candle magic. Although I do always bring in herbs, magical herbs, spices, things from the kitchen cupboard. I bring them in together with the candle magic. Lucky Fairy Queen. How to meet your spirit guides? Like, do you have a preconceived idea, or do they just drop in? It depends which section you're looking at. There are different areas with this. So if you are looking to connect with those that have passed over, so from a psychic medium point of view, get some training. Working as a psychic medium is a very specific thing to do, and you definitely need guidance and training on that to hone your gifts and to work with them properly and to not get overwhelmed. When I first started my psychic medium training, opened myself up, and I was overwhelmed. It was like, queue for the January sales. Completely inundated. So if you are going to go down that route, I would recommend getting some training. Luckily, I did have someone there who was able to help me and help to teach me and work out how to deal with it. It's not an area I work with particularly these days. I have the skills. I choose not to work with it because it can become very overwhelming. If you are looking for working with spirit guides, as in animal spirit guides, for example, that is much easier to work with. And I think much more beneficial. I have Wild Boar Spirit Guide, who has been with me for many years, and I have various other animals that come in. Seagull quite often, pigeon, sloth keeps making itself known lately, and goat I do like as well. But yeah, various ones. Put the request out there. Again, there are various things on the blog. I think there's a meditation on my YouTube channel as well. So meditation to meet an animal spirit guide. I've written a book about it, obviously. Animal magic. it's about putting that request out there, and you can do that as a spell. You can do that as meditation. It's also about taking notice of things. Is there a particular animal that you've always been drawn to? Pig for me was one that always featured. Do you keep seeing particular animal images on the television, on fabrics, on jewelry, on images, pictures, whatever it might be? Take note and then meditate to meet that animal. But if you're opening yourself up to whoever, whatever wants to come along, then meditation. It sounds like a really boring answer to everything, but meditation is really, really useful. Put yourself in a situation where you can invite an animal in. There are also lots of different types of animals. I have done a couple of talks on animal magic, and they're on YouTube as well. There are animals that would just come in to give you a message. There are animal spirit guides that will just be with you for a short while whilst you're dealing with something. There are then the lifelong ones as well. And you can also call on animal spirit guides to lend their energy to your spell working. So if I was working a healing spell, I might call on the energy of dolphin, because that's very healing. If I'm working a spell for confidence, you can call on the energy of lion, because that's full of confidence. Meditation, probably that, with animal spirit guides. And actually with spirit guides in general, I have a spirit guide that walks with me whenever I'm doing my Avalonian work, specifically only for that. And that was, she was discovered via meditation, specifically as my spirit guide for that journey. I also have a specific animal spirit guide when I am reading the Akashic records. I have a black Labrador that's always with me for that. If I go into the underworld when I do my hedge riding, my wild boar refuses to come with me. So I have a black panther that meets me there. But they were all gained through meditation for that specific purpose. So do have a look on the YouTube channel, because there are a couple of talks on it, and there is, I believe, a meet your animal spirit guide meditation. But general spirit guides, meditation. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully that answered the question. Karen, I work air with a lot, and I'm an air sign. I used to avoid fire, but have connected with it now. It's about respecting, isn't it, all the different elements. They all have their own different properties and characteristics, and they're all useful for different things. Claire, ideas for a justice spell, trying mundane approach but dealing with not good people. What spell work of any type, but I would go for candle magic for that. Pick the colour that you associate with justice. You could dress it with oils and herbs, again, that you associate with justice, and put out your request. Just visualize the result that you want. Any spell will only be as good as your will and intent to make it happen. So add that energy to it. But all the time that you are working with the spell, all the time that you're putting the ingredients together, all the time that you are lighting, watching the candle, or making a spell, I would go for candle magic actually for justice. All the time you're working with it, keep your goal in mind and put all your will and intent into that. Your words and your intent are going to be the power behind that. But I would definitely suggest candle magic for that one. Angela, I think it's because I have had several unpleasant experiences with wind, but I absolutely love wild storms. I'm full of weird contradictions. I think we all are. Weather magic is a whole thing as well, isn't it? Storms, amazing amount of energy. Collecting rainwater during a storm, that's going to be some powerful rainwater there. Sitting on the seafront during a storm in a car, because who wants to get that wet? Amazing energy. Jane, probably work equally with all the elements. Short fuse, fire, letting out emotions, water, overthinking things, air, and seeking solace in food, earth. Yeah, I can relate to most of those. Not easy to find a balance most of the time. Life is throwing so many curveballs lately. I think it's interesting to look at everything that you do during the day, all the mundane stuff, because all of it will relate to an element. Food, earth, because most of it's grown from the earth. But if you cook it, then you bring in fire. If you're using water in your cooking, you're bringing the water element in as well. Housework, air, dusting, vacuuming, all air. Showering, washing your hair, washing up, all water. Think about all those mundane things that you do, and then think about any hobbies that you do. Crafting, fire generally, because it's creativity. Reading a book to me is air and earth. Whatever you do for work will have an element associated to it. It's interesting to write a list, 4 columns, earth, air, fire, water. Write down all those things that you do each day and put them in the columns that you associate with the elements that you think they're associated with. And you'll get a list to see whether it's balanced. There's no right or wrong. It doesn't have to be equally balanced. It just has to have to feel right to you. But it's an interesting exercise to do to see if you are missing some elements. Christine, am I different by loving all of the elements? No, love working with all, as I think air goes with fire and water goes well with the earth. But then again, I know I'm different. We all are. But I think they do, don't they? I mean, if we're in ritual, we call in all 4 elements. And all of the magical tools are associated with a different element. I work with herbs a lot. Every herb is associated with a specific element. And I do quite often bring in the herbs purely because of their elemental energy. Crystals are all associated with a different element, and I do the same thing. So I think if you work magic, you do tend to work with all 4 elements. I think it's good to be balanced. Xenia, never felt the wish to create beings like servitors or snatch beings to work for me, because one constantly needs to care for them and feed them. Well, yes, there's that side of it too. As one who can't be trusted to care for even houseplants, no thanks. I'm fine with my power animal and other allies that can care for their own. Yes, it is. So I did work with it in my original Wiccan training many years ago. It was very uncomfortable for me. It's not an area that I liked to work with, but I know that people do. So if that, no judgments here. For me, there are other ways of dealing things with. Yes, you do have to care for them. I'm not good with houseplants too. That's why I have cactus. Sarah, I'm a Libra, so an air sign. I need to remember to ground. Yes, and it's also bear in mind your zodiac sign. So I'm a Scorpio, born in October, so I'm a Scorpio. It's only one of your signs. It's your sun sign. The moon sign you were born under as well will play a big part in your personality traits. So it's always interesting to find out what that is as well. Jane, the Kalak is hanging on by putting a hairdryer on its coldest setting. Yeah, we've had bright sunny days, we've had blue skies, but very cold winds. She is still fighting back at the minute. Yeah. Yeah, there's chilly breeze, isn't it? It's quite deceptive. Oh, beautiful sunshiny day. Cold. Kerry, fire is my go-to element. Yeah, it's a good one. Emma, I use air for mental wellness, which fits perfectly. Helps to remember to slow down and notice your thoughts at the time. Perfect. Brilliant. Yes. You're very welcome, Tina. Xenia, I love good old headology. Terry Pratchett nailed it, didn't he, really? That's how witchcraft works. Headology. There are some good books and resources on the science about how our brain works, like mindset, creating own destiny, self-fulfilling prophecy, law of attraction. Magic and science work together. Fact. When you're working magic, you're working with energy. Energy is science. Yeah, it all comes together. And the mind is a very, very powerful thing. You can convince yourself of all sorts of things, and all of those things can manifest as well. Health issues, as well as all the good stuff. So yeah, bear in mind headology. Your brain is very, very powerful. You're very welcome, Lucky Fairy Queen. Karen, Emma did a Reiki on me and I was in a deep, not sleep, but and 2 Native American Indians came to me along with a wolf. You will find that quite often with Reiki. It sends up a kind of flare. Hello, I'm spiritual. Come find me. You will find that, yes, quite often when you are in that kind of almost trance state, isn't it? Where things find their way to you. And it will be for a reason as well. It will be for a reason. Christine, after having so much fire training with the army garage work, it made me very aware of fire to almost not working so much with it. I am a fire sign, but what I wonder is, did I get burnt alive as a past life, as I just feel the pain of burning at times? I think past issues, past lives do play quite a big role. We went to Wookie Hole once, and I hated being under all that rock. It was almost unbearable. Maybe I was buried some previous lifetime. I think it does have an effect, but I also think it's important to respect the elements. Perhaps fire and water more than the others, maybe. I think we do underestimate the power of things like the ocean. I mean, so much of the deep ocean that we haven't explored. Who knows what's down there? But it takes lives as well as gives lives. Fire the same. Fire is destructive, but you sometimes need that destruction to make way for new stuff. But they are both incredibly powerful. So it is about respecting all of the elements, really, I think. Maria, there's all the elements in food. I'm just a little ball of fire. I like fire. Yeah, interesting, actually. Yes, this week I have been for a consultation with a medicinal herbalist, and she talked about all of the elements as well. And all food do. Food's ingredients are all associated with different elements, just like herbs and plants are. All of the foods have their element association as well. Ginger, fire, cinnamon, fire, that kind of thing. Angela, Tamagotchis, the mundane world service of the 80s. Yeah, if you remembered to look after them. Yeah, if you remembered to look after them. Xenia, as for Scorpio, for me, it's the most fiery water sign. Oh, yes. Stingy, intensive, and energetic. I don't know about the energetic bit, but yeah. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Lucky Fairy Queen, absolutely. Science is now discovering what witches have known all along. Yeah, it comes together. Science and magic, absolutely hand in hand. Xenia, love Reiki. Should remind myself to do it more often for myself. Yeah, I am a Reiki master teacher, and I do, yeah, because I don't use it very often, because I don't use it as a profession. Yeah, you kind of forget, don't you? I think as witches, we have this huge tool bag of stuff. We just sometimes forget to use it. Claire, I'm an Aries sun, Aries moon, Libra rising with no earth signs. I remember getting a reading saying that's quite a chart. I was like, no, I feel like a Pisces. Trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. Jane, can't swim and I'm afraid of large bodies of water. Could never go on a cruise. We did go on a cruise, but it was on a river. So it wasn't so bad. I'm not very good on the sea. Found out I'd been chucked in a pond and drowned 200 odd years ago. That'll do it. I've since made eye contact with the person I was then and sent her into the light. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I think it is about respect. When you are out on the ocean, you have to have respect for that huge body of water. Absolutely. Good morning, Tia. Sorry. Rainy East Coast. Hopefully the sun will come your way. David, I'm a fire sign in both sun and moon, which is a mix. So my moon side agrees with my sun side. Yeah, perfect harmony, David. You are completely balanced. It's a good thing. Xenia, I'm a Leo with Virgo rising. Virgo is the overthinking one. Should also help me with not falling over my big mouth, but not very successful. I think it is. We're all individuals, aren't we? We are all individuals. And if you work with the charts, then you have your sun sign, you have your moon sign, but you have all the other planets as well. And it depends where they are. And they've all got their own different characteristics as well. So each person is going to be completely unique, which is good. Maria, I think I'm a Capricorn moon and an Aries sun. Not the best. No, it's all good. It's all good. All brings different things to the party. Emily, it's air and earth for me. I have no water signs at all in my chart, but remembered as a child I was pathologically drawn towards water. Any stream, sea, lake or pool, I just wanted to jump straight in. Balance, see? Balance of it. Xenia, there are good cruise ships that stop at Hamburg. I wonder who I could visit in Hamburg. We did have a very lovely cruise last year up the Rhine. Yeah, Germany was beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
That's where you learned to speak so fluently, wasn't
it? Yeah, shut up. Nice food too, very nice food. David, the sun is out, so I'm in shorts. Woohoo! Need to soak up that yellow solar radiation. Yeah, I probably won't be in my shorts, but I will be out there. Yeah, it's a good day for poking about in the garden, I think. Jalala, Capricorn sun, moon, and rising. Fairly goaty then. I love goats. Goats rock. Absolutely, goats rock. Karen, Aquarius sun and moon with Gemini rising have about 5 or 6 planets in Aquarius. See, there's such a pick and mix here, isn't there? There's all these different things that come together to make all of those different energies and bring all of those different characteristics and personalities. Yeah, it's fascinating, but definitely worth having a look at the elements. And bear in mind as well that whenever I see lists of things, there are lists of all the characteristics of each of the elements. So fire, creativity, passion, drive, transformation. Water would be releasing emotions. Earth's grounding. See, I forgot air again. Left air down last again. Air is about your intuition, your intellect. They all have these lists of characteristics. Very rarely will you see the negative side of those. So bear in mind that the elements all have, for want of a better word, negative type of energies too. So fire might be quick temper. Air might be indecisiveness or overthinking. So, bear in mind there are these negative personality traits as well that come with all of the elements. And particularly if you are spell working, bear in mind to look at the negative side of things too, because those energies will all come with it. We tend to just look at those positives and forget about the negatives, but they're definitely there and they're definitely important. David, never had anyone do me an astrology chart. I wonder if I should, just for the research. You can actually get some free ones online. All you need is your date of birth and your time of birth and your place of birth, I think. Bless you. It's hay fever season. Yes, you can get some free ones online, which are quite interesting. There, Xenia did mine with software. Yes. They are very useful. If anyone's got a good one that they've used online, do feel free to pop it in the comments. It's interesting to look at. It is interesting to look at, and it gives quite a lot of insight and answers. We had them done for both of our children to when they were born, and we got booklet things all brought together about their characters, their personalities, what they were going to be like. And actually, it's interesting to look back on them now that they are adults. Interesting, quite spot on, most of it. Karen, Aries sun and Cancer moon, good mix. I think they're all good mixes, aren't they? They all bring different things to the table. And it is balance again, but it doesn't have to be equal balance. It is about what works for you. And it's also about looking, if you do look at which elements you are stronger in, which elements you're weaker in, it doesn't matter. If you're happy with how that works, then leave it as it is. If you're not happy with it, if there are some aspects that you feel could do with a bit more balance, then work with some more of the element that's missing. But don't feel you have to change it. Entirely up to you. Christine, I had an astrology book written for me. Cannot understand a single word of it. Totally gobbledygook. I think it's about finding the right person and the right information. There is a lot of, yes, I'm with you there, Christine. Yeah, a lot of it does go over my head. A lot of astrology is maths. My brain's not going to cope with that. My sun and moon signs are both Cancer. I'm screwed. No, you see, you've got to put a positive spin on it. There are no right or wrong. There are no good or bad combinations. They are the combinations that make you who you are. If you are unhappy with some of those characteristics, have a look at the elements that you could bring in that will balance it out. It's all good. It's all good. There are even astrology apps for the phone. 3 parts are already good, or you have to agree to watch an ad and then read the text. I've got an astrology app that shows you where all the stars are in the sky, which is pretty cool. Cannot remember what it is, but you'll find it if you're interested. Yes, all these fireworkers sounds like an arsonist support track. Yes, my name is Rachel and I am a fire starter. So it's not a problem. Yeah, if you do have apps or sites, do please pop them in now or later on. It's all good. It's all good. Astro Dinst or Cafe Astrology. Yes, I have heard of that one. They're useful. I think they're interesting. Possibly not something that you would, live your whole life by, but I think it is very interesting to delve into and to look into just for reference. It's very clever how it's all worked out. Not my area of expertise. I work with the zodiac signs. I work with the moon when it's in a specific zodiac sign from a spell working point of view, because the moon moves through all of the planets in a month. Basically, it's in. I'll tell you. I've got an app on my phone, and it'll tell you. It lasts a couple of days in each phase, and then it moves on to the next one. But it will bring different energies depending on which one it is in. Come on, give me the Daft Moon is the one that I have, I think. There we are. Right, so the moon is in Cancer at the moment. So this is my phone app. It's quite cool. That I use for magical purpose. So the moon is in Cancer, so that will have specific energies. And if we go on for, it's in Cancer tomorrow and the next day. It's in transit. Oh, I'm going by hours and not days. That's a bit of a woolly, isn't it? Right, okay, so Sunday it moves into Leo. So it's in each zodiac sign for 2 or 3 days. When it turns into Leo, it will bring different characteristics and energies with it. So if you're looking to hone your spell working, definitely check the zodiac sign that the moon is in, because it will have a different energy to it and it can really help boost your spell working. And the phone apps are brilliant for, you don't have to work anything out. Xenia, my first one before computers was a book from a birth date and an empty chart and full of the text for all the aspects. I drew the chart in by hand and found out the matching text. Think I still have it. That's very complicated. That's why I got someone else to do the ones for our children. Someone that knew what they were talking about. Maria's a twisted fire starter. Yeah, we're all singing now, aren't we? Emma uses Daft Moon. Yeah, it's quite a good moon app. If you want a moon app for working magic, DAF, DAFF Moon, is a good free one to use. Tia, Sun, Libra, Air, Moon, Cancer, Water. I'm down to fur and earth, so always thought I'm drawn to what is missing to make me complete. I think we are. I think, the universe knows what it's doing and will often lead us in the right direction. Angela, human design is another really interesting area to look at for individual life maps and characteristics. It's all very, very complicated, isn't it? It still amazes me how we create human beings, how our body creates a human being from tiny things, and how complex it all is, and how different everyone is. No two people are going to be the same. Even identical twins aren't the same personalities. It's all very clever. Susan, it is DAF Moon, DAFF Moon. It's a free app. David, not convinced all on signs clashing. My partner and me shouldn't get on according to our sun signs, but we do all right. And I think that's because other things come into play. You aren't just bang, you're a Scorpio, that's it. It doesn't work like that, because your sun sign comes in, your moon sign comes in, the other planets, where all the other planets were when you were born, will also bring their own energies to it as well. So yeah, it's all clever stuff. All clever stuff. Scrolling down. Everyone's talking to themselves. I love it. I love that you're all having conversations with each other. David, found my watch. Now tell me the moon phases. Oh, yeah. I bet mine does that. I hadn't thought about that. I'll have to, yep. Yeah, just, I'm going to sort out the phone. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Very clever, yes. Your phone howls like the wolf on a full moon. All right, I'm going to have to investigate that. Thank you for that, David. Should be looking that up. Jane, found my original notebook from when I learned astrology in 1973. Totally flummoxed by all nice maths. Remember giving up on it because it was taking me 3 weeks to interpret one chart. It is a very, very clever stuff, and my brain would not cope. Would not cope at all. It is a good app. I've used DAF Moon for a very long time, and it tells you everything you need to know. Let's go back from Sunday. Friday. Ooh, right. Yes, so it is. Look, it tells you everything. So it is. It's a waxing crescent, 42% waxing crescent. So good for bringing stuff in. You're manifesting, you're planning, plotting, scheming, prosperity, abundance, bring it all in kind of stuff. And it is in Cancer. So that will bring that energy as well. It tells you when the moon rise and set, how old it is, the transit, lots of other math stuff, location, degrees north. But it's very, very useful. Very useful. It tells you the sun too. It's the daytime now. Thank you for that. And the sun does the same thing. So the sun is in Aries at the moment. So if you work with solar magic, brilliant. Tells you the energy of that as well. It gives you all the information on where the planets are as well. Tells you what's in the sky. Tells you what planets are in the sky. And the orbits. It's all clever stuff. Clever stuff. Yeah, it does a lot of stuff, and it's all free. So it's all good. All good. Definitely good for magical workings. There we are. Just checking all the comments. I think it is a big part of working magic is trusting your intuition. Big, 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 huge, enormous part of it. Trust your intuition. It will never let you down. So if your intuition tells you that you need to work magic on this day or that day, or a particular spell uses whatever herbs, trust it. Go with it. If you want to plan stuff out, then I would do the research and work out which herbs I need for the spell, or what elements they are, what properties they are. Generally, I trust my intuition. I open the cupboard and see what jumps out at me. But if you want to really put some time and effort into a big spell, then working out the moon phase, what zodiac sign the moon is in, or the sun phase, if you prefer to work it during the day with solar power, all of that adds extra layers of energy. And of course, all of the herbs and plants and flowers are often ruled by a planet as well. Not all of them have a planet, but a lot of them are ruled by a specific planet as well. So you can bring all of that energy in as well. So if a plant is ruled by water and Venus, brilliant for love magic. So it is about all of those little bits all come together to add to the layers of the onion. It's all layers of an onion. Bring it all together. All adds different layers of power and energy to your spell working. So while I don't read my horoscope or anything like that, but I do work with the planets for magical working because it adds those extra layers of energy to it. Christine, planned on washing my car today, but the rain made me change my mind. Sun Energy says, have a chill out day. Car will get washed with yellow water. The universe has other plans for you. Obviously, I'd listen to the universe if I were you. I've talked about weather magic as well, I think. I think there's a YouTube chat on weather magic as well, because that brings in all sorts of other power as well. But elements, I think they are important, and it is about recognizing them and all of the things that they are in. We wouldn't be here without the elements, so we wouldn't be alive without the elements. So it is about recognizing them and what they're in. They're all around us, and connecting and working with them. But everything is all about connection. Magic is all about connecting to that energy. Maria, I haven't got that app. Perhaps it's not available on Apple. Don't know. I do have a Samsung phone, so I don't use Apple. But there will be free moon apps on all of them. Jane, Keith is Taurus. I'm a Sagittarian. Puts my fire out and then I get it back and scorches particles. That sounds painful. Maria, Xenia, sorry. To be honest, when I plan all these things out, my energy had been consumed already by doing this. Go very well doing magic immediately when the urge and the matching emotions are there. Then I pick the ingredients that feel right. I think there are certain spells that need to be done now. So you need to do that spell. You need to work it now. Follow your intuition. It will not let you down. I think there are other spells that you can take your time and think about and plan out. If you are planning a Sabbath ritual or something like that, and you want to put a spell in the middle, that takes time and effort. I think the energy that you are fueled by, if you're doing a spell that needs to be done right now, that energy will carry you forward. But I also think plotting and planning and taking time to put a spell together adds energy to it as well. The fact that you have sat and researched it, the fact that you have taken your time to put all of the words together or the ingredients together, that all adds to the energy of the spell working as well. But there are places for both and times for both. So it is whatever works for you. So we ended up being a bit elemental and planetary today. If you are interested in planetary magic, it can really, really boost your spell working and how you see the world, really. It's an interesting subject. Astrology is lots of maths, so that's not going to work for me. So brilliant. And we've already done an hour. Where did that time go? That's gone. The elements were strong today, obviously. So do have a think about all of the elements as you're working through your week, all of the things that you do and what element it ties in with or corresponds with. It's an interesting exercise to keep out for. Otherwise, Jane, need to smudge 3 months of chaotic and miserable energy. Smudging is a very good routine to get into. It's surprising how quickly negative energy can build up. So yeah, have a clear out. Have a clear out. Angela, not sure how I feel about astrology since they removed a sign. Yes. Yeah, it's there's a lot of controversy about that, isn't there? Removing the sign or not removing the sign, or how it, there was a whole big thing about that, wasn't there? Yes, think about your elements and what they correspond to. It's an interesting thing to do. So thank you. enjoy your week, whatever it is that you're doing, and I will catch you again next week. How often to smudge, Sarah? Whenever you feel it needs it. Trust your intuition on that one. Some people smudge every full moon, but it's up, be guided by your intuition. Take care, everyone, and I will see you all again next week.